Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Adawach, double honors unto the elder apostles, a great millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, there was a person over here that came on my comment board and said, "Thank you for your time in putting some of this information together. I already knew a lot of this. The Hebrews of the times look like your typical Arab." Well, that's not actually 100% correct. That's totally not correct. I mean your typical Arab. Well, I explain it. So it says here, Arabs are children of Abraham with a Hamite mother, I should say, named Hagar, which is an Egyptian woman, which is Mizraim, which was his concubine, right? His wife Sarah, her maid, right? Egypt is a son of Ham named Mizraim, because Egypt is a Greek word. The real name of Egypt is Mizraim. So the original Ishmaelite, because that's the father of the Arabs was a dark-skinned man. So yes, the Arabs and the Hebrews looked alike, but through Alexander the Greek, who conquered the nations, and also the Romans afterward, I should say. Afterwards, let me see, made them caucus skinned, because when the Romans was to take you over, and the Greeks, they would rape your females and your boys and your males. You can check out history. They did that. That's the truth. They even doing it now. I mean, look at what they did to the boys in Iraq and in Vietnam, and in every war that they go, they did these things, and they're doing it until this day, right? There was recently a factory of children found in Ukraine. How about that? Read upon that, and you're gonna see. Now it says here, by Russians, by the way, the Arabs started to fade away in color, and because what they are nowadays, which is mixed multitude of paleish and brownish people. And also the Persian Empire, medo-persian empire actually, they also had a hand in shaping the average look of the modern Arab. The word Arab comes from Arab, which means mixed multitude in the Hebrew. Irab actually, because Ishmael also is associated with another son of Abraham, which is Midian in Genesis chapter 25 verse 2. And she bare him Zimran and Jokshan and Medan actually, and Midian and Ishkab and Shua. Midian is the one that Moses was married unto. She was a Midianite, right? So they were dark-skinned people too, because their father is dark. It was later on they started to turn into what they are looking like right now in 2024 AD. First Chronicles chapter 5 verse 19. And they made war with the Hagarites, which are Ishmaelites. Those are a group of children that were that came out of Hagar. So they named themselves after their mother. So it's some kind of Hamitic type of Ishmaelites. It's Ishmaelites, of course, but they was also mingling with Hamites. But anyway, going on with Jetur and Nebhish and Nodab. The Hagarites were called after Hagar, the wife / concubine of Abraham. Right, so First Chronicles chapter 1 verse 31. Jetur, Napish, and Kedama. These are the sons of Ishmael. So they were also associated with one another, the Hagarites and the other sons of Ishmael, which are the forefathers of these tribes of Ishmael. Just like how Jacob had 12 sons, those 12 sons turned into 12 tribes. Well, these are 3 of the tribes that Ishmael had. And he had a few more, by the way. Here you can see that the Hagarites were together with their brothers, Jetur and Nepish and Nodab, which are all Ishmaelites, which equals Arabs. The Arabs were so dark skinned that Ishmael named his son Black. First Chronicles chapter 5 verse 29. These are the generations of what? These are their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebaioth, and then Kedar and Abdil. Until this day, they call their own children Abdel. That's a really old name of the Hebrew Ishmaelites, right? Because he's a Hebrew also. His father is a Hebrew. Nipsam, right? So it says here, if you look up the Strong's word of Kedar, it says in the Gesenius lexicon, black-skinned man. And then I put the link here so you can check it out for yourself if you have the time. I'll put the link in the description box anyway, so you can check it out. It says it right here. He was so dark that his father Ishmael named him black-skinned man. Back in the days, you would be named at birth and not before, because they did not know what you would be, a boy or a girl. And the names were often prophetic and named spiritually. Nowadays, people name children in advance because they know what gender the child will be, a boy or a girl. Right, and there's no other gender. It's only two. Right. Gotta put that in there because there's a lot of bug out people that need to get the middle finger like what this cat is showing you right now. Right. So yeah, there you have it concerning the Arabs look like not your typical, the Hebrews look like not your typical Arab, the ancient Arabs, because they are children of Hamites. Well, they made children with Hamites anyway. Let me say it better. Abraham made a child with Mizraim, which is a Hamite female, an Egyptian. So they were dark skinned at one point in time. Later on, they grafted. Look at the so-called Latinos right now. They're different shades of brown. Some of them look caucus. You know, one side is dark, the other side is so-called, like this female here. Yeah, this one. This female here. Some of them look like this. That's because of the interbreeding and so-called intermingling and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And, some of them look like these two. This here. Some of them look like that, you know, because they have the native blood in them, and then they look therefore like this. So you have Ephraimites, you know, looking like this. Some of them this. Some of them look like the so-called Negroes in America. So yeah, and of course some of them look like, you know, so-called mixed up and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the point. And yeah, there you have it concerning the Arabs used to look like us. Because, for example, Joseph also made children with the same type of women, which is Mizraim, which is Egypt, in Egyptian. He had an Egyptian woman, a Hamite. So, in the beginning, Ephraim and Manasseh looked like two so-called black boys. You know, and then later on, of course, so-called black men, of course. But they went and got themselves women of other nations eventually. And then once we start to get big, then we started to make only children with our own people, right? Among the 12 tribes, because, you know, your daughters and stuff like that, you give your daughters unto the people of your own, and not to a heathen nation. Deuteronomy chapter 7 explains that to you. And Nehemiah chapter 13, and First Ezra chapter 8, and or 9, one of those two. You know, Tobit, the book of Tobit, explains also that you're supposed to actually stay within your tribe. You know, make children with the people, the daughters of your tribe, of your people. I mean, you know, yeah. So yeah, but nowadays everyone is all mixed up, and well, not everyone actually, but yeah. The Arabs don't look like how they used to look, but you still have dark-skinned Arabs until this day. Yeah, but anyway, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom.